Just a little bit of. Yeah. Hush, you want to get us going, please?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Dave. I'm wondering if what you thought about the job Wes Johnson has done at Georgia. Has it surprised you at all how quickly he's got that program up and where it's at right now?
Well, first off, I think he's done a great job, and no, it doesn't surprise me a bit. He's a great coach, and he hired some really good coaches, and they're in a really, really good baseball area. You're talking 80 miles from Atlanta, just a great part of the country for high school baseball, and doesn't surprise me a bit.
I want to ask you about Ryder Helfrich. It seems like the last 3 weeks or so, he's been really hitting the ball well. He's got an average over 300 now. Just what's changed for him, or has anything changed for him?
Well, there's been a few things changed. I don't want to give away too many secrets, but he's definitely made some adjustments. He had a really good summer. He's a really good hitter in high school and summer ball. Didn't go great last year as a freshman, but we still hit him because we thought he could hit, and starting to come out a little bit. He did a really good job against Vanderbilt, staying through the middle of the field, hit a triple down the right field line, and he's athletic. He can get an infield hit. He can bunt a little bit. He's just kind of growing up as a hitter and as a player, and maybe relaxed a little bit.
At Baron, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Dave. Just wanted to ask about the starting rotation for this weekend, if you plan to roll it out in the same order, same guys.
Same order, same guys. Yep.
Nice.
Left, left. Yep.
And then on Tuesday, you were saying that the guys were a little lethargic with it being a midweek in between conference. Are you more satisfied with the energy level, as you're about to travel?
Well, it's the way the weekend was. We didn't play Friday, pouring down rain. Saturday, doesn't look like we're going to play. We're not sure. So mentally, they're probably like, they're not sure. And then it got cold. So we got to play Saturday evening in some really cold, wet weather, and then play two games the next day in basically the same weather. Might have been, it was even colder. It was just not quite as wet. Although when we first got out there, it was misting. And I just think it warmed down a little bit, the 7 inning games, they go fast. But really, we played 3 games in less than 24 hours. And then they have the next day off, but that's when they kind of recover and lift. And then we're out there playing again. And so I don't think it was, that they don't want to play. I just felt like, it's just human nature. And I was just watching them. And they kind of jumped to it second, third inning. It's like it got going again for them. They did a nice job there. And then yesterday it was a good workout. It was light, just went over a few things. Weather was nice. Late afternoon is when we worked out, when it was in the 70s. And now we're here today. We're going to head out of here in just a little bit and get a workout in Athens tonight.
Yeah, and just to kind of go off that, I know that conditions weren't good, and some new guys have been in some new spots. There's been a few errors in the past few games that haven't come back to bite you, but is that a concern?
Yeah, that one error again on Tuesday was that we didn't have a play at home plate 2 different times, and our outfield threw the ball to home plate, and one of them didn't hurt us. The other one, the runner advanced, and it still didn't hurt us. They didn't get a hit to drive them in, but we addressed that yesterday and spent some time on that and discussed that. And the other one, I don't remember. I think we had a catcher throwing error on I don't know what happened there, a mix up where one runner stole and one didn't. And the one that stole was on the back end for Missouri. And instead of getting the out, we gave him a run and went from there. The other was a hard hit ground ball to the left to Souza that could have been a double play ball, and he didn't field it. But if you look at, if you know anything about baseball, that happens every now and then. You're going to make some errors. So, yeah, I mean, when you're fielding 990 almost, and then you make a couple errors, it stands out a little bit. But we have a good team.
Hey, Christina, go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, on Wes Johnson, when he was here, how much of an influence did he have on kind of integrating more technology and analytics into how you guys do things?
Well, that was kind of the beginning of it, in my opinion. He brought it with him. because that was what was going on, and we wanted that. Um, and so I would say that's probably where it got started on the pitching side. And obviously, I liked what I saw. He leaves. I wanted to hire somebody that was kind of the same way, and Coach Hobbs. So yeah, it definitely brought the knowledge of technology and wanted to do it, and we started opening that up a lot.
And then based on what you saw from Justin Thomas, when he was a freshman at Georgia, how do you feel like he's grown in his time in your program now?
It was interesting. We played them 2 years ago when he was a freshman. He didn't play against us, but we watched him hit. We watched all, the other teams BP, especially on the road. And you just knew he was athletic. Obviously, he went to junior college at Florida Junior College, and one of our former players and coaches was there as a first-time coach, Cullen Smith, and Cullen liked him. We asked Cullen about him. We knew we were going to need a center fielder. It was just he could do everything. We just needed to know he was going to hit a little bit, and he got off to a really slow start in the spring of his sophomore year there, and then he really kicked it into gear and was good. And he's been good here, so it's been fun to watch him develop.
You were mentioned at Waters Club that Gage Wood might make the roster this weekend. Do you have an update on that?
Well, he's going on the trip. I don't know if he'll be on the 30-man. I would say I probably won't put him on the 30-man. But he's getting close. He's getting close. Bullpen's been good. He's going to throw another one this weekend. That's one reason he's going with us. He'd go anyway, but he is going to throw a bullpen while we're there. And hey, maybe he'll be ready for the next weekend. We'll see.
Dudley, go ahead.
Obviously, scoring more runs and not allowing runs is big on the road, but what's the mentality you have to take to be a successful road team?
Well, I think you just have to be confident and know that you can play with anybody in the country. And you never know how it's going to go anywhere, even at home. Just kind of do what we've been doing and show up and play hard. And if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. We feel like that we've been pretty consistent from day one. And we don't make a lot of mistakes. We throw the ball over the plate, and that's a good recipe for winning at any level of college or any level of baseball, not just college baseball. Georgia can really score. I mean, they got 92 home runs somewhere in there, lead the country. No lead safe. You got to know that when you're playing them, and just play. It's different. They had a beautiful grass surface last time I was there, and many a times I was there, and I was kind of surprised that they went to turf just because of how nice it was. But I know they had to go underneath the outfield to bring in some power and different things to their new facility. But they play on turf now, and we're used to that. We played there, against Vandy. But it's a different game when you play on turf a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be it'll be a good series. It'll be a real good series.